Before I start, I need to say this. This story is based on something that actually happened to me last year. I've changed the names for obvious reasons. I'm still not completely sure what was real and what wasn't, but everything I'm about to tell you is exactly how I remember it. My name is Rohan, and this happened last year. I've never told anyone the full story because even now, I'm not completely sure what was real and what wasn't. Arav has been my best friend since we were 12. Same school, same friend group, same everything. We practically grew up in each other's houses. That's why what started happening didn't feel scary at first. It just felt off. It began with his birthday, a small thing. He casually mentioned one evening that I never showed up. I laughed and reminded him about the chocolate cake I teased him about and the horror movie we watched in his room, but he didn't laugh. He said he celebrated with family only, said I never came. I thought he was messing with me until I checked my phone to prove it. That weekend had no photos, no messages between us, nothing. I even checked my call logs and bank statements to see if I had ordered food or taken an Uber. Nothing. It was like those 2 days were wiped clean. I told myself maybe I mixed up the dates. Maybe I remembered wrong. But the memory felt too detailed to be fake. After that, RF started acting different. Not aggressive, not obviously strange, just slightly ahead of me all the time. He would answer questions I hadn't asked yet. Once I was thinking about applying for a job in another city. I hadn't told anyone, not even searched it publicly. We were sitting in his car when he suddenly said, "You're not actually thinking of leaving, right?" I remember feeling a tightness in my chest. I asked him why he'd say that. He just shrugged and said, "I know you." It sounded normal, but it didn't feel normal. Then came the night that changed everything. He invited me over because his parents were away. We were watching old childhood videos from an external hard drive. At first, it was just embarrassing clips of us being kids. Then the video shifted to a recording of his bedroom at night. I assumed it was some prank recording he forgot about. The camera angle was from the top corner of his room. Arav was asleep. And there was someone standing next to his bed. I didn't recognize the figure immediately. It was dark. But when the person shifted slightly under the faint light from the window, I felt my body go cold. The hoodie, the height, the way the shoulders leaned slightly forward, it looked like me. I laughed because that's what you do when something doesn't make sense. I said it was edited. He didn't respond. He zoomed in on the timestamp. It matched the same weekend that was missing from my phone, he said very calmly. "You've been coming here at night." I told him that was impossible. I live alone. I would know if I left my apartment. He said he didn't call the police because he thought maybe I was sleepwalking. That scared me more than anything else. The idea that it could be me and I wouldn't remember. That night I went home and double-checked my locks. Even placed a chair under my doorknob just in case. Around 2:17 a.m., my phone vibrated. It was Arav. He sent a photo of himself sleeping. The angle was from the same ceiling corner. The caption said, "You're here." I felt sick. I sent him a picture of my locked door to prove I was home. The next morning I checked my apartment carefully. Nothing seemed disturbed. But when I went into my bathroom, I noticed something small that I can't explain. My toothbrush was slightly wet, and I hadn't brushed my teeth since the night before. Maybe it was leftover moisture. Maybe I was overthinking. But the doubt started building. I went back to Arif's house that afternoon because he wasn't answering my calls. The door was unlocked. His room was empty. His phone was on the bed. There was a video open. I pressed play. It showed his room again. The door slowly opened in the middle of the night. The same figure walked in and stood beside him. This time, it leaned down, as if whispering something. Arav suddenly woke up and looked directly at it. Not screaming, not shocked. Just aware. The figure turned slightly toward the camera, and for a split second, the face was visible enough for me to recognize my own features. The video ended abruptly. Behind me, I heard someone step into the hallway. Arav was standing there, but something in his expression felt distant, like he hadn't slept in days. I asked him what was happening. He said, "I think it's copying you." I asked what he meant. He said, "Every night it looks more like you." We never talked about it again. A few weeks later, Arav moved away unexpectedly. No explanation. No goodbye in person. Just a text saying he needed a fresh start. I tried calling. The number was disconnected. Wish that was the end. But sometimes, around 2:17 a.m., I wake up suddenly for no reason. And every time I do, I have this strong feeling that I'm not alone in my room. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. The air feels occupied. And yesterday, while scrolling through my gallery, I found something strange. 2 days from last month were completely blank, but there was one file, an 8-second video. No thumbnail, no preview, just a timestamp. 2:17 a.m. I haven't opened it yet, because I already know what I'll see.